technical difficulties. Lisa forgot since last week how to get on, but she's nutted that out now. And hopefully we are back live. Our third one, how good's that? We recently made up our mind that we'd like to start live streaming, and a testament to that, mistakes are still being made. We said we're going to live stream, so we are actually live streaming, and this is the third one. So welcome back, and if it's your first time here, welcome, enjoy. Guys, questions and queries, it helps us because we've got a bit of a mud map in our mind where we're going to go, but we're flexible at this stage and we're open to suggestions and questions and queries and whatnot. So feel free. And I've got a very good attention span. So if I'm in the middle of the story and you ask a question, there's no hope we're coming back to the original story, but that's fine. Now, while we are waiting for people to get here, I've got a story I want to talk about. Men's health, making a bit of a joke, shouldn't make a joke about it, but we're encouraged to open up and we're encouraged to share our problems and stuff. This is a problem I'm having on the farm with the acreage. So the orchard has been neglected, and it's been neglected because all the trees went dormant over winter and there was no fruit. And we got a whole lot of animals in, so we really haven't been down there. And it's got to the point where the weeds were out of control. I've slowly getting back on control of the weeds and stuff, and I really want to make that pretty because the old owner spent a lot of money on it, and we've spent a lot of money on it, and it's lovely just to saying we've got an orchard, but it has to be looking beautiful. So spending a lot of time down there now. Pretty much I spend an hour to an hour and a half every morning getting back on top of it. Now, the problem I'm having down there is some rocks are exposed, and when I take my cub cadet or the push mower, the blades get dented and chipped, and you know, the metal and the noise and the sparks, and it's terrible. So I've decided I need to dig them out. So I took me pick down there, and I'm picking them out, and that's fine. And I've removed the rocks. There's still some bigger ones to go, but the smaller ones have been done. And this is the problem. It's caused me another problem. So the problem is now I've got holes, and the holes are a tripping hazard. I can roll my ankle, you know what I mean? I can spill a beer. So I can't have these holes in the ground. So solution is topsoil. Had a bag of topsoil, taking the topsoil down there, putting the topsoil in there, compacted that, watered that down, and that's great, except the feed, and there's nothing coming through. It's just topsoil. And I've done this last season as well. And then last time I took my mower down there and I went over it, there's no rocks, but because the topsoil hasn't had any roots and it hasn't bedded in, it's just get thrown out and it's spread everywhere. So my holes are back. So I've now went back down there, put more soil in there and backfilled it. I've got my seed here, which I'm going to put down. And then I had to build these wire cages because I know the wild animals and birds are going to come into it. And I'm going to have to around my motor mower, which was led to me backfilling it, led to me mistakenly blowing it all away with the Cub Cadet again. Then I've had to backfill it. Now I'm going to have to seed it. Then I'm going to have to wire mesh it to keep away the pest, all in the hopes that I can get a flat block of land. Anyway, I know that's a first world problem. That's my problem. I'm just getting a bit annoyed how one job leads to 5 jobs. And following up on that, 2 nights ago, I think, Lisa's bees swarmed on her. We weren't prepared. I mean, I built the base for the bees. We faced it the right direction on the YouTube. You know, we've cleared the area well. We've put the sugared water. Lisa's done the online courses, but they swarmed. And I thought, okay, they're going to swarm. But that led us this morning jumping in the car and going to buy another beehive, interrupting our Sunday morning and coming back to, as soon as we're finishing this, we're going to go locate the second box. So I thought the bees were done, dusted, you know, what's the proper word? Apiarian? Apiarians?
Apiary or something.
Apiary or something. But no, we're not. So I'm just getting a little bit annoyed that one job isn't just one job. One job leads to 6 jobs, and it's continuing to lead to 6 jobs. First world problems, I know. But that was just a bit of chatting until everybody come online. Now, next thing I have to say is important. Pretty much had confirmation from DCI Industries, from Simon, coming between the 1st and the 4th of February. So that's pretty much 2 weeks away. No? Not allowed to say that?
I don't think we're meant to say anything yet.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, that's live. Good opportunity, guys, especially all the homesteaders in Tasmanians. Simon's going to be on site. He is a qualified electrician. He is the owner of the business. We're going to be watching the unit turn up, going to be putting onto the slab, all your questions and queries, throw them at Lisa. This isn't a salesman. Well, he's probably a salesman, but this isn't the slick salesman. You answer a straight question and you'll be able to get a straight answer. And I don't want to put Simon on the spot too much here, but if you're in the Launceston side and Simon and I smack it out, he might even be able to do a quick site inspection. I don't know, he may have plans with the family, but anyway, DCI Industries coming in 2 weeks.
And just to reiterate, we paid for this service. We paid for this installation. It's not a sponsored
exposure
to expose our channels, and
Simon can get the queries and the business, and we hopefully get the views and the comments and the likes and
off-grid gold.
And that's it. So that's Simon coming probably within 2 weeks' time. So yeah, the off-gridders get excited about that. And now, next thing I need to mention is we started live streaming 3 weeks ago today, and we've made up as we go. I think what's going to happen is, because I want Lisa on the camera more, but Lisa doesn't want to be on the camera more, and she's doing the back end questions and queries and all that. I think Lisa might just stand and throw questions at me, and because that's normally what happens. She just gets the crank and she winds up the monkey. I'm the monkey, and then she lets the monkey sing and dance. So I think that's probably going to be the way we go, because many years ago too, we started to do YouTube with my princess, and I had to remember her name and 4 words, and I couldn't do it, so I can't script stuff. So yeah, that's probably going to be the format where Lisa will just throw out a sentence or a question or to jog my memory, and then I know that's the bait for the monkey to start his singing his song and his dance. All right, so that's probably where we're going to go with it now. Today is meant to be on machinery,
homestead, tools and machinery.
All right, so the first thing I've got to say about that is being Melburnians, coming over here and not knowing which way was up. It was pretty much reactive. Now, to be honest, the old owners, when they sold us this house, they had a whole lot of equipment that they offered us to buy. Now, I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know what was a good price. I didn't know what was fair. In hindsight, they done an awesome deal for us, but I wasn't ready. And the other thing is too, finances. I didn't have the money that they wanted to drop into that equipment. So we ended up buying just one piece of equipment off them, which was a hydraulic log splitter. And I've made a lot of videos on the hydraulic log splitter. And that's an awesome bit of kit, which you will need when you live off-grid like we do, if you're going to heat your house from wood, all right? But so we had the opportunity, but we didn't. And then when we were here, then it was reactive. Things were coming up. Now, me and Lisa, we're not the best planners in the world. And Lisa was in the hospital a week before. Settlement happened, and we kind of just took the wrong car with all the wrong equipment to probably the wrong house, and we started from there. But so we were reactive. So what happened was chainsaw. We needed a chainsaw.
Steel farm boss. You brought a chainsaw over, but it was too small for this homestead and acreage, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we brought the little one across, and the little one's fine, and it served me well. But when you got bigger diameter trees and the blades can get stuck, and you really need the bigger engine. So that was the first thing. We bought a chainsaw across, but pretty quick we realised we needed a bigger one. Now, I think from memory, that chainsaw, that was around $1,600, wasn't it? Can you remember?
We bought...
It was over $1,000.
Yeah.
We'll say...
I think it was $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500 for the chainsaw. And that's great, but of course then you need the 2-stroke fuel, which I didn't factor in, and then you need a spare chain, and then I broke one of the bars, so I had to replace the bar, and then not too after that, I was going back and they said you need the chaps, and you do need the chaps because where we live, if anything did happen, we're so far away from help, so and so we had to buy the safety gear and whatnot. But then I think the Cub Cadet come, which is my ride-on mower. Now, that was purely an ego-driven decision. We got a few cleared spots. Now, they were too big to push with a mower. You'd never be able to do it with a push mower. And I have always wanted a ride-on mower. Wow, there you go. Well, we'll assume that this camera is capturing everything, and then we can post that as a 30-minute video, although it's not live. Is that right, Lise?
Yeah.
All right. So back to where I was. Then we bought the tractor. Again, the tractor was probably a little bit of a mistake because from what I can gather now, farmers have tractors and they have a slasher on the back, and that's pretty much their mower. I haven't bought a slasher with it, so I've only got the tractor itself. Now, I've got the ride-on mower. That's how I mow my lawns, with the ride-on mower. So if I'm not using my tractor as a ride-on mower, it kind of just sits there right now. We did get a quote to do our driveway, and our driveway was going to be very, very expensive. So in a moment of weakness, me and Lisa, we like shiny things.
No, we got shocked. The quote was 19,000
Yes.
just to do the driveway.
Yes.
So it was a lot of money.
So that was a bit of a motivation for me to say, I'm going to do it myself. So we did go and buy the tractor. Now, since then, we had a little bit of a practice at the gate, and that washed away. And then I had a little bit of a corner, and that also washed away. So we've realised to do this yourself, it's a big undertaking where I'm going to need to put proper drains in, proper catchment, and proper channels. And we're just not there yet. So I have used that to remove some tan bark, which was a bit of an overkill, but it did save my back shoveling the tan bark into the wheelbarrow when I could scoop it. So that was awesome, and taking a whole lot of tan bark up to the greenhouse. But because we're not utilising it yet, it's pretty much been on site for coming up a year. We did recently just buy the big attachment post hole digger for it as well, because I do have to build a fence and an area for the cows, but I haven't got around to that yet. So probably could have bought the tractor in, realistically, 3 months' time, but we've had it there the whole time now. I do love it. Look, it's a decision we had to make, and it's an expense we had to pay. So we've moved forward from those things now, which is great.
To AgFest, so we were in the hype of it all and excited. And, you know, the Coyote worked for us. It wasn't exorbitant like a, what's it, the
Kabuto. Yeah. All right, so pretty much just over there so far. Touched on the log splitter, which is awesome, which we did get secondhand, very handy. Then we went to the ride-on mower. Probably a bit premature on that, but I love that, and now I'm starting to use that. I'm very happy with that, and it's shiny. It's got the bells and whistles and the stubby holder and all adjustable greatness. Then we got the ATV Polaris. That really should have been one of the first, because whipping around the block and getting things done and moving stuff around, it's amazing. And then finally was the big one, the tractor. Underutilised at the moment. We probably should have done that a little bit later. Doesn't matter. It's on site now, and we're going to start to use it.
As we mentioned, it's all reactive. Our block is not a flat 40 acres. It's got hills. We've got a 650, 700 metre driveway that goes uphill. It's pretty steep, and it's gravel. There's no asphalt. The Jeep struggles on it. The Holden does all right. The ATV does good. The Cub Cadet does good. The tractor does good. But when it's raining, the wheels slip. So we just have to be a bit cautious. At the end of the day, it's still machinery. You still have to think about safety.
Oh, yeah. And it's dangerous.
And it's dangerous. But all reactive, all because our land needs it. It needs it. We've got ferns, we've got palm trees, we've got ferns, we've got grass.
Foxglove, bloody weeds.
Yeah, we've got lots of weeds.
Growing everywhere.
Lots of trees. We're in a national park. So everything Justin mentioned, the chainsaw, the whippersnipper, the push mower, the ride-on mower especially, we can't push this land.
It's too big.
We can't use a push mower.
You can't. You definitely can't.
And then the log splitter is awesome to prepare for winter. Speaking of that, one of my non-negotiables was you had to install a second wood fireplace.
Oh, yep. So, when we moved over, it was the end of summer, wasn't it, heading into winter? Right? So more so Lisa was paranoid about the cold. So one of the things, actually, she was overseas, and I surprised her. No, could you help me pick the fireplace? Oh, no, I installed it while you're overseas. So we decided to put a secondary fire into the bedroom, and that was a great thing too. That makes Lisa feel happy in her heart and soul, which is important. I love it because it looks really good, but practically to have a fireplace in your bedroom, it's stupid. Mate, you just need to put some kindling in it and the whole room changes. And when we go to bed, Lisa likes putting logs in it, and I'm bloody sweating all night. So, guys, I don't know, maybe put it in the spare room. And
what's the deal? If in Tassie overnight it goes below 5 degrees, it's automatically lit for me.
That's it.
Before bed.
Otherwise, I pretty much ask Lisa if she's feeling cold and she wants it done. But as soon as we hit 5 degrees, we light the bedroom one. So that's something. And I just want to backtrack a little bit. The other thing was what we had to do with the water tanks and whatnot. because we only had the one water tank. It was originally fed from the spring. When we got here, it was dripping, because it's dirty. It was muddy. It was dirty. I haven't got around to servicing that, so we went and bought a couple of tanks. And when we bought the water tanks, obviously we need the irrigation, the poly tubing and stuff, and all the fittings, which again is very expensive. We need the transfer pumps now. We originally bought one, but I had to carry this transfer pump from spot to spot, to place. Very inconvenient, hard on the back. No, I whinge a little bit, but they are quite heavy, and put on a trolley. I got a trolley, but again, it's hard for access, so we end up buying a second one, and they're now plumbed up where they need to be. So with our water tanks and the irrigation and all the fittings and our pumps, the transfer pumps and whatnot, that was another handy big expense we had to do at the start.
That ended up costing us like 10,000. The 2 water tanks, the irrigation, the pipes. Yep. Amazing.
How
we
expensive.
were shocked how expensive polytube is.
Yeah.
The 2-inch and the 1 inches, the connectors.
Oh yeah.
The fuel mac parts. I think one part you nearly fell off your chair the other day. We went and bought it. It was $75 for one piece.
I haven't. I thought I could have found it, but not worth. And then the other thing, again, reactive. The neighbours were telling us that there are going to be fallen trees and there's going to be electricity outages and whatnot. So we went and bought a generator. That was over $2,000 for the generator.
Yeah.
We haven't used it yet, but it's handy to have.
It will be used, and it will be a good backup very, very soon when we get the solar installed.
Yep. And then Lisa also found another one, a smaller one, which I think in an emergency, well, again, this is all contingencies now really, because once we get our solar, we won't need our generators really, because we're going to have the 3 days worth of batteries back up. But anyway, I had to buy our generators as well, which was an expense. The water pumps, which were an expense. We've also bought the cement mixer over there, and I bought haven't used it yet, because in my defence, well, that was on sale at Bunnings, and that was a really good price. And that's when I get round to the landscaping, because I haven't started landscaping yet really. It's just been maintaining and the animals setting up, but that will get used. And the other thing we bought was the chipper, and the chipper is grouse, and the chipper works really good, and I've got up to 1 inch thickness of branches and whatnot. But again, the branches are spread from one end of our block to the other end of the block, and there's a tool you need. I'm getting a price from Gerald, like a rake you put on the back of your tractor, and you rake it all together, and you lift the handle, and all the sticks and that get bunched up. Then I can walk my chipper next to that, put the chipper into it, and collect the mulch, and off we go. But again, that's on the bottom of my to-do list. But I have got a chipper over there. It's brand new. It's awesome. But you can't drag that around and put a branch in at a time, because you're going to get nowhere.
You pretty much spoke about everything.
Yep.
This is the last tool that you bought, and this was very reactive. Tell them about the steel pole saw. Why we bought that.
Oh, just up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we moved into the house, we had 4 resident tiger snakes, and we're not exaggerating. And our bedroom is in a corner of the house. At the corner of the house, that's where they used to sun themselves, and that's where they used to sleep. And under the house, they used to slither underneath that when they felt scared or whatnot. So we would wake up and we would see them sunbathing. We would see them warming themselves up, and they're scary and they're ugly, and I hate them. And they're dangerous, and because we're so far away, if they bite us, we could be in a little bit of trouble. But they'd either slither under the house or they'd slither off into the garden. So what I'd done, I got some quickset concrete, and I gapped up all the under the weatherboard, so I had to take that away from them so they couldn't get under there. But then they were slithering into the garden, and we had like the big, not this yucca, but similar to yucca, Now, we knew we had 4 tiger snakes. I didn't have the gators at the time, I don't think, and I just didn't want to go in to that field. So we bought that pole up there. That was $400. We bought that for one job where I could stand back 2.5 meters. It's electric, and I could lopping the branches from a safe distance, keeping an eye on the ground. And Lisa was spotting me and dragging them branches out, and then we cleared it. Then I got the chainsaw out and we lopped it. So yeah, that tool up there, we bought that for the one job, and the one job was I needed the distance to stay away from the tiger snakes. And now we've got that down to ground level. I've actually weeded all that, cleared all that up, discovered a terrace garden out there, which is amazing, which is beautiful. and I know when on the internet's listen when I say I'm going to do things and I'm going to do it, but we are going to have a terrace garden there, and I'm going to divert the stormwater from the house, not to catch it, but just so it can flow through. Like I'm going to copy a natural water course and have my plants, and then it can just go down the hill. But so that was another tool which was totally reactive for the tiger snakes to get that done. And then there was another tool we bought as well. The other steel battery one, where we went and see Gerald and Michael, the shears for our driveway, which was overgrowing. When
the hedger.
when Gerald come out to dump the Polaris and the tractor for us, I said, mate, you got anything in the shop? He goes, I've got the perfect tool for you. So next time we went in, we had a look at it and we bought that. And for the man ferns up and down the driveway, it's a magical tool. Again, we had a problem and there was a tool solution for it.
Battery operated. How good? What do you prefer? Like out of all your tools, you've said that the ATV would have been the preferable first thing we bought. Because 40 acres is a lot to walk. And then after that would be the chainsaw to clear all the fallen trees.
Yeah, definitely.
And then now you've got some petrol powered tools and machinery, and you've got your battery. How do you rate the battery ones? Because I think you were hesitant at first, weren't you?
Yeah, of course.
With the hedger and the pole saw.
So I've been a tradesman for over 30 years now. I'm a fitter and turner. And when I started my apprenticeship, we didn't have battery. We had power. And when I was working, we used to run extension cords everywhere, of course, plug in all our quarter tools. And that's how we used to work. And I think it was probably only 10 years after that, they started to introduce battery tools. Now, at the start of the battery tools, I was there at the start, they didn't have the torque, they didn't have the grunt, they couldn't really do, because they didn't have the voltage driving them. But over the years, the batteries have advanced. Now, in Melbourne, we've renovated, and the majority of our renovations have been done with the Makita. I love the Makita batteries. I've got 8 or 9 of the batteries, and I've got 3 chargers.
Sponsorship.
Come on, Makita.
Sponsored.
Get on board, Makita. Yeah. So the battery, I really like, and now in industry, we don't use a lot of power tools. Even when you're drilling concrete, they're battery. Circ saws are now battery. The bigger grinders, they're battery. So they're electricity is obviously still got a use, but I'm very comfortable now in my jobs, renovating or fitting, maintenance, using the battery stuff. Now, when it comes to the gardening stuff, I'd only ever used motors, petrol motors, and petrol whippersnippers. And when I said to Gerald, who I bought the battery gear off, mate, how's this going to go? And he's, mate, it's going to destroy it. It's going to eat it up. And he's 100% right. That little chainsaw up there with the battery, that's a fully functioning little chainsaw. It's not the big farm boss, but that is a little chainsaw, and that pole saw with a battery all day, every day. I'm very comfortable now. If there's a skin I could buy steel, because my gardening gear is pretty much steel, I'll buy the steel because they're so lightweight and they've got the torque. And even the garden, what do you call them, the shears for the fern that we use? The
hedger.
The hedger. So I've got a pole saw and I've got the hedger. They're both steel. I know when I grab them, I've got hours and hours of use and they don't let me down. So to answer Lisa's question, look, old school petrol or electricity, you do get more torque and you do get more power, but you're mixing your fuel and you've got to service that equipment more. The battery now, I reckon they're not level, they're not equal to, but they're very close now. And renovating homes, I don't need power tools. I'll renovate with my batteries. And when it comes to garden, I might even one day, if still want to give me one, look at using a push steel motor mower. I'd be battery operated. Yeah, and 5 years ago I wouldn't have said this, but now I'd be prepared to probably have a go at a push mower to give that a crack because what I've got on site's never let me down.
Now, question from me as a layman. You mentioned your Makita. You get all the skins, and you can use the same battery for all of the skins. You know, your drill, your impact, your jab saw, whatever, all those things. With your pole saw and your hedger. Same battery or is it different?
No, different.
Oh, is it?
Different, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, as Lisa just said, so if you buy Milwaukee skins or DeWalt skins or Mac skins, whatever, pretty much the skins, the batteries in the Mac range, any Mac battery is pretty much interchangeable with all the other Mac skins, and you just need one charger, and that'll work your radio, your impact driver, your circ saw, demo, everything, right? What I found with the Stihl, though, the batteries are different, and they're different sizes, and they're not interchangeable. So when I bought the pole saw, I had to get a battery, and I had to get a charger with that. Then when I bought the other one, I can't remember what they're called again, I had to buy a different battery and a different charger. So, I mean, but that'll change in time, I reckon, because Stihl knows the consumer doesn't want to be spending close to $200 on a charger, every skin they're buying.
Battery.
Yeah, so, yeah. My Mac gear I run has got the one charger, which charges all batteries, which makes sense. But at the moment, the two Stihls I've got on site do require two different Stihl chargers, but I think that'll change over time as well.
Now, we're not normal beginner homesteaders. We do have a background, you know, with Justin showcasing and explaining all our tools, equipment and machinery. It's a bit of money to start up.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And we were just fortunate we had some property that we can fall back on that we sold, and we had some money over from them. But what would you recommend as the top 3? And would you recommend new, or would you recommend, you know, seeing
piece of equipment?
Pieces of equipment. If you were to come blindly like what we did, pack up a little Jeep and nothing else, leave everything else behind, what's the 3 things that you would highly, highly suggest that you
First
need?
thing, a chainsaw. You do need a chainsaw because we have trees fall on our driveway, and as soon as a tree falls on your driveway, you can't get home. So you're going to need a chainsaw. So when that does happen, and not only that, trees fall also in inconvenient places, and you've got to store timber for yourself. So you're really going to need a chainsaw. I'll come back to price and that in a minute. So first thing, you're going to need a chainsaw. Second thing you're going to need is your ATV, your Polaris. Oh, if you've got, say, 40 acres to get around on, because, I mean, if I had to walk to the front 10 times, I'm going to have a heart attack on the 6th time. And, I mean, my tools aren't even going to get there.
It takes, like, on a good day, walking down from the house to the orchard, about 8 minutes walking.
Yeah.
And that's not going up the steep hill.
So that's 8 minutes down, and we'll say 12, that's 20 minutes back. And if you're doing that, there's an hour of walking.
And that's before you do anything.
To do your work, So the ATV is awesome. Then, look, I'm going to change the rules a little bit. Essential chainsaw, ATV, very good. Only thing I'm going to say, in our instance, our water pumps. We need to pump water. We needed our pumps, but if we can overlook that thing, because they're a tool and that's equipment, and we did need that, if I can overlook that, then the other thing I would say is...
whippersnipper, brush cutter.
Sorry?
The whippersnipper. Like you use that a lot on the orchard, the driveway, everywhere. Or at the hedge. Which one?
The whippersnipper.
You'd say
use the whippersnipper. Whippersnipper more, And then what I would do different, I wouldn't buy the Cub Cadet now. I would buy a tractor with a slasher. Now, I wouldn't enjoy it as much because I love sitting on my Cub Cadet. And tractors are tippier and probably can't get on the same angles I get on with, and they haven't got a 0 turn, and you need an attachment on the back. So the initial investment would probably be more than your ride-on mower. But if I had my time again, I would get I would get the tractor before I got the ride-on mower. Now then, the second part of that question is second-hand or new. Look, the thing is, right, I didn't want to buy second-hand. One, I didn't know what to look for. I had no experience with it. I wouldn't know if it was a good gear, if it was bad gear. And then you don't know now
how they used it, the previous owner. I'm
going to assume that people thrash their gear. And they may thrash their gear unintentionally, but they may thrash it. And when I say thrash it, like really work it to the bone, and you don't really know how much strain the engine's been put under, how much strain the PTO's been put under. Same as the ATV, you don't know when it's been serviced. You don't know if it's ever been serviced, or you don't know it's been whatever. The thing is, we bought. In
saying that, everything we bought was brand new except for the ATV, the Polaris. That's because we trusted ACP and Michael and their maintenance and their customer servicing department. They do really well. So we actually bought a second-hand ATV. We
Yep.
saved about 10,000 on that
Yep.
easily.
Yep.
We also bought the log splitter from the previous owner,
Yep.
which was hardly used, so we knew that we weren't going to go wrong.
Yep.
We saved 2,000 on that.
Yep.
But everything else we bought new.
But look,
but that's in our instance anyway.
it comes down to money, obviously. I had the money, and for the little bit of peace of mind, I was happy to buy brand new,
With warranty.
pretty much because we had it. And, you know, every hour that's been done has been done by me now, and I know the mistakes I've made, and I look after all my gears. I look after all my tools. I take it very easy on my gear. And I just know the history of it, because you run the risk of, you just don't, a transmission, a gearbox, you know, an engine could have folded or faulted at any time. Now, if that happens, you're in for big money. And that leaves a bit of taste in my mouth. So, look, you know, if I didn't have the money, I would say you got no other option. You have to go for the second-hand stuff, obviously, because it's money. But if you've got the money or you can borrow a little bit, I recommend the new gear, because there's an old saying, and it seems to be true, you know, poor people pay twice. You know, you buy something cheap, but then by the time you replace everything and fix everything, you use it for 12 months and then you probably got to replace it. But if you buy brand new...
Best example is our three sons that are now adults. They've bought second-hand cars.
Yeah.
How much have they spent on new engines, servicing, new tyres?
Yep.
And they could have bought brand new, like you said, and not have as much headaches.
So that's the thing. But yeah, look, if you know what you're doing and you're very mechanical minded and you feel confident looking at a second-hand because you're very experienced with them and you know how to service them, right? In that instance, you've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, you've got the experience. You can look at the air filter, you maybe pull out the spark, you know, you can ask questions, you can check the condition of the bar, and you can look at the internals, and if you know it's been serviced and cleaned, okay, you got no problem. But yeah, I wasn't that comfortable. And especially, you know, when you're talking an ATV, you're talking probably $6,000 in a second-hand one, or for an extra $6, getting a good second-hand one. I'd rather the better one, but that's just personal preference here. Geez, we're solving all the world problems, aren't we? Do we want garden equipment battery, or do we want it petrol? Do we buy brand new? Do we buy second hand? Hey, come to JLGapYear. Come to homesteading in Tasmania. Hey, we'll answer all your questions for you. Next one.
For us in Tasmania, safety with tiger snakes. Do you feel that the snake gators were worth it, and what we've done to help prevent?
Okay, well, look. Okay, this is my opinion, and I'm not a vet, and I'm not a snakeologist, and I'm not a doctor and all that stuff, right? But look, we're surrounded by tiger snakes. We used to have 4 live at our bedroom. I see them on the driveway. I see them at the creek. We see them everywhere. I stay away from them. I don't like them. I'm a bit scared of them. When I see them, I'll make some noise and they generally slither away. So, look, the gators, I believe they're good. A gator's just like a shin pad you put on so that the snake can't bite you. When I go up to the spring or when I go through the proper bush, I put them on and I wear steel caps because, look, it's protection. It saves me getting bitten. It saves me getting rushed to the hospital. So, look, I think the gators are worth it and I'm still going to use them. No, gators are worth it. I was going to say I'm mindful of snakes. I'm wary of them. I know they're around. So I will take a walking stick with me to make some noise and I've got something there's a bit of distance between us. But no, I've got them on site now. I'm going to, what were they, $60 each?
Yeah.
So $60, get yourself the gators. So, you know, $60. I'm going to have them for the next 10 years. Hopefully I'm never going to get bitten. But if I do get bit, they can't get through that. So it's worth having just for the peace of mind. So happy to have the gators on site. And yeah, when I do my normal work, I won't. But when I go to the spring to do the maintenance on the spring,
I think we've got 2 sets. We'll both be wearing it.
We'll definitely be wearing them. How are we going for time?
We've done 38 minutes. Now, just
38.
38 minutes.
It's only because we started late.
Stuffed up, yeah. Just a couple of things to the guys and gals watching. Would you be interested in us doing a live stream walk? Like, I don't know how we're going to do it. We might have to do a live stream of.
Got no reception unless you edit. Okay.
Yeah, how would we do one going to the stream?
No questions. If there's something you would like to see, what the best we can do is we can, because we've got no internet reception. Yeah, we will film it and then maybe put it up before the live stream or after the live stream.
Yeah.
Or maybe send it, if they give you an email address or a address, you can maybe send it to them direct or tag them or something. Yeah, but yeah. So if you've got anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like us to touch on, give it to us. Otherwise, we're just going to keep making it up. So our third one. So I'm happy we've done our third live stream. How many people come on today?
It ranged. At one stage, we currently have 5 that are watching. So hello.
Hi, guys. I can name them. Dad, Mum,
Chris,
Ivy. So, yeah. Brother, sister.
But at one stage, there was like 14 live. So that was nice.
Okay.
We'll see the stats afterwards. Now, next week.
Next Sunday. 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Yep.
I'm thinking we've most of our homestead animals are actually within Wi-Fi range.
Yep.
We might give you an update of the babies. They're all coming up to 6 months. We've got the Jersey calves, Daisy, Bessie, Sweetheart. They've more than doubled in size, and we need to move them soon. So you might as well say hi to them before we move them from their first original nursery. Then we've got Fred and Barney, our boy goats. We'll be able to introduce you and show you them.
The bees.
The bees.
The girls.
The Flintstone stingers. The chickens, the guineas, and also the girl goats. They're all within range.
You've also got the babies inside.
And
the ones
Wilma.
you've grown from.
And we'll showcase Charlie and Chucky, our
guinea fowl
fully
chicks.
hatched. Yeah, our only 2 hatched guinea fowl eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So we originally got 6 guinea fowls back in March of last year, and we've done a full circle. They've now laid some eggs, and we've hatched 2, a light one and a dark one.
Yep.
We can't show the peacocks or the roosters because they're down closer to the orchard. Okay, we've got a question here.
Yep.
Jenny. So Jenny's asked if we can do a garden and veggie patch live walkthrough. So we can definitely do the hot house. The orchard will probably do an update via video because it's too far out.
Yep, there you go.
Tim's asked, I'd love to see how you have your solar hot water system work. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's close, so we can definitely do that one.
Yep.
I might have to come visit you, mate, and see how it's all going. How far are you, Tim? Don't say it on here because for privacy, we actually don't mention location. We just mention it's in Tasmania. So, tell them about the solar hot water. Now we've done probably a month with it.
Okay, so the solar hot water, it's 50-50. It's a toss-up. Look, it's off-grid, so it's great. It's free water, which I like. When the sun's out, it works really well.
Really nice.
And it's good.
Hot.
So all things being equal, free water, free sun, I like. But the catch is with that, you kind of need...
Your mate Tim.
Yeah?
You've worked with him, solar panels.
Oh, did I? Okay. It's... Look, when the sun's out and the evacuator tubes are doing what they do and the vessel gets filled up, the heat transfer works, but there is a thermostat. And for Australian standards or code, the thermostat's set a bit low on temperature. So I'm going to have to get up there. I'm going to have to dial up the thermostat. I mean, I'm going to have to get a licensed plumber to go up there to work in Australian standards. But I think once I dial up the thermostat, it will be good. But to be honest, it's been cloudy the last couple of days. So we've plugged in the old kettle and I'm using electricity. So I'm saying it's 50-50. I love being off-grid. I love having an off-grid system. I love it looking at it and it's installed. I'm just going to have to dial up the thermostat to get a bit hot temperature. I've got an inline filter so the water's clean and clear. So that is all great, but our showers, especially late afternoon, if you haven't had sun all day and it gets to late afternoon, your showers are warm. Now, it's summer here at the moment. A warm shower would be fine. But in winter, if the temperature of that water was winter, nah, I'm not interested. But having said that, we have got a facility where you can wire up the heater element, and we're probably going to do that. And
wood fire, because it's directly below, or electrically. 'Cause
Water-
we're going to get solar, and we won't be paying as much for electricity.
Yeah. So look, in fair weather, awesome. From the limited time we've had it, when the sun's out, the water's out, brilliant.
Awesome, yeah,
Brilliant.
all day.
But to answer your question, yeah, to be honest, the last 3 days we've had the kettle plugged in, and I've
electric
disconnected
hot water
it.
unit.
So we're back to it only because the sun hasn't been out. And we're only doing that because we've got that option. We're homesteaders and we want to be off grid, but we also need to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not working as hard as I
Hot
work,
water.
and Lisa's not working as hard as she works, and we're not going to be having cold showers at night. So, look, ask me in a month's time, but in a month's time, as Lisa just said, our off-grid solar will probably be hardwired to it. So then it's going to have a thermostat switch where we will be using it electrically. But one of the neighbours has got one of them systems, and he swears by it.
And he's connected his wood heater.
He's got the wet back.
He's already got it. We've got one as well. We just haven't connected it. Now, Tim's asked, how many water tanks do we have, and how big are they?
Currently, we've got 3. We've got a
Originally was only a 5,000 tank.
Yep, a 5,000 tank, which was spring-fed, which wasn't working. So we left that there, but then we put another 5,000 tank down the road at Blackbutt, close to the creek, and then we put a 10,000 one just outside here, which we put potable water in at the start, and I plumbed that up. So to answer your question, there's 2 5,000 litres and there's a 10,000 litre tank. The 10,000 is potable water, which we wash our food with, and Lisa does all the dishes with. And
drinking water.
We've only used like 3,000 litres of that.
In 1 year, in 12 months, we've had family, groups of family come over.
Yep.
In 12 months, we have not used the 10,000 litres.
No.
So it's probably half a tank at the moment. So 5,000 litres, and that's purely drinking water, cooking, for washing veggies.
Yep.
That's separately plumbed, and everything else, so showers, dishes, toilet, sewage, all that comes from the creek water, and that gets pumped every 7 to 10 days up to the original tank.
Yep.
We also have 2 IBC tanks that we use. One you've plumbed from the spring that goes next to the chicken coop, so that's 1,000 litres. And then we've got one at the hothouse, and we use a solar pond pump to use that.
Good point. I forgot about those.
So there's another 2,000 litres.
So total tanks at the moment is 22,000.
That we use,
which is plenty for us. But the problem we're having at the moment is the main one, the spring, the polytube, the irrigation is blocked, and the gravity's not, well, gravity works fine, but our gravity's not working because of blockages and stuff. And that's got an automatic float valve in it. Once I get round to cleaning that, that will fill that 5,000 tank litre religiously via the float valve, and that will supply our house.
Yeah.
And then we're done. Just this was a short-term gap running the pumps, the transfer pumps and the irrigation to do what we need to do. But we're at a stage now with our transfer pumps and our irrigation, we can get water everywhere we need it on the block,
so
quite comfortably.
We've got water. We don't have to rely on rainwater or the rain season or winter. We can pump that from our beautiful creeks. Now, Tim has asked as well, so do you guys grow your own vegetables or fruit? We have a baby fruit orchard. There's about 40 or 50 plants. So there's stone fruit and there's some nut trees as well down there. It's about 3 years old.
Which we haven't got any fruit from yet.
No fruits yet.
It's too immature.
But it's just beautiful. And we also built a gazebo down there. So Justin loves it down there. Veggies-wise, we grow all our own herbs, Asian, Italian herbs up in the greenhouse. This year's been really hard to grow vegetables, but again, that's in the greenhouse, which we'll show next week, Jenny. I've got some corn. I've got some tomato and cucumber. This time last year it was thriving and we were harvesting. This year, they're not even 20 centimetres high. So very, very slow summer, colder, drier. Don't know why, but the plants haven't taken. But we definitely are trying to grow our own herbs and fruit. Vegetable-wise, we're dipping and dabbing in potatoes, pumpkin, corn.
We're getting there.
But
we're having a
just
crack.
Learning what the Tassie climate's letting us grow.
But yeah, that's our goal. Yeah.
Jenny said when she was young, had a wood fire water heater
Yep.
called Brahma.
Yep. Bramer. Yep.
Yeah. No, we love it. We inherited a small wood fire heater, hot water tank when we bought this place.
Yeah.
It's just not convenient.
No.
Not over winter. Not for a daily use.
That's it.
Yeah.
No. Well, so that question was from Tim, was it?
Yeah. So that was Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thanks for interacting, and Jenny as well. And Jenny, we see all your comments.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Jenny. We appreciate that as well. All right, and that's that's way over half hour now.
That's 49 minutes. So we've
There's
done
our
real
50 minutes.
So I reckon next Sunday, let's do a food one. So let's do our greenhouse.
Okay. Now,
and our
Jenny,
animals.
when Lisa forgets, she promised you this, not me. So if it doesn't happen next week, you heard it from Lisa. So yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for the interaction, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate that.
And
Next Sunday,
this
12
video
o'clock.
will be uploaded in the next half hour to an hour.
And we
So
hope
you
it turned
can
out to
watch
be
it.
live.
And
We're not sure.
hopefully when the video was still, you'll be able to watch what Justin was saying, which he talks a lot.
And I think too, and Lisa's going to yell at me, I think we're going to have a Bunnings voucher or something raffled next week, a surprise.
Hey,
maybe the
Buzz
fifth
Gaming.
question or something. The fifth question we get online.
Hey, speaking of that, when we eventually do the virtual install, Simon's actually going to give some vouchers. So he actually will be doing some Bunnings vouchers and some other company vouchers.
So that's
on
coming
the
up in
day.
2 weeks.
So that's coming first week of February. That's all we're allowed to say at the moment. Simon will be sending out emails. So you've got to register on his link. So I don't know how to do that admin side, guys. But there'll be some giveaways. I get to pick randomly whoever's there on the live virtual install. But there'll be Bunnings vouchers and other vouchers on the day. And remember, questions. This is our last part to become fully off-grid. So we're excited.
Yep.
It's happening for us. But if anyone that wants to learn, wants to hear about it, Simon's the bloke to ask about it. That's for sure.
And any other questions now, we will see and we will answer them after this live
Thanks,
stream.
Jenny. See you soon. See you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great week. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Hopefully that was live.